Hi, I'm Louise Rockabilby Cooper, and today I'd like to share with you a project that's been almost finished for just a little too long. So here it goes. Banjo Bilby's Small School's Big Adventure by Louise Rockabilby Cooper in collaboration with Wyangala Dam, Wee Jasper, Uranquinty, Talimba, Mulluwela, Nowandok, Dundurabin, and Yetman Public Schools in New South Wales, and Amampa and Pigeonhole Schools in the Northern Territory. Banjo Bilby's Small School's Big Adventure. Hats off to Akubra for supporting Banjo's adventures. So thanks, Akubra. Hello, my name is Banjo Bilby, and in 2016 I set off on an amazing journey to small schools around Australia. I packed myself, my camera and my adventure journal into an envelope and hit the postal route. I couldn't wait to meet all of the children and hear about what they had to say about living in their part of Australia. My first stop was Wyangala Dam, 35 kilometres from Cowra in New South Wales. The dam is about 2.5 times the size of Sydney Harbour, but only half full. 227 people live in Wyangala, most of them are old. 6 students go to the school and they have a school dog called Abby. Abby gave me a sniff. Luckily I wasn't too smelly just yet. Sniff, sniff. I helped the children cook and eat some delicious burgers. Yum. And cheered them on at the swimming carnival. You can do it. My next stop was Wee Jasper. Wee Jasper is a tiny village of only 67 people, 54 kilometres from Yass along twisty, winding roads and 80 kilometres northwest of Canberra. Wee Jasper Public School has always been a one-teacher school, and when I visited, there were 9 students. I really liked eating dinner at the Kura Digby homestead. It is a Pisé building built using rammed earth and barbed wire in 1911. In 1939, it withstood bushfires. Each night I'd go home for adventures with a different child. We went on a tour to Carey's Cave, watered the cattle, helped change a truck tyre and rode ponies. Ever onward to Uranquinty. 32 students and Uranquinty Public School, about the same number as the average Australian class size. 800 people live in Uranquinty. Today they have a famous bakery, hotel, chemist, service station and power plant. During World War II, Uranquinty was home to the RAAF Flight Training School, number 5. There are lots of school pets at Uranquinty. Guinea pigs, chooks and a pygmy bearded dragon. I really enjoyed their sensory garden. It was so relaxing, and with its calming water fountain and tunnel. In their veggie patch they were growing strawberries, pumpkins and lettuces. I arrived at Talimba on a rather special day. The 19 students were very excited to be going on an excursion to West Wyalong, 35 kilometres away. We watched a performance about rubbish and recycling, then we had a picnic in the park. Talimba is a small farming community of 335 people. Talimba is known for their first cross lambs, merino sheep and wool. I helped out in the shearing shed. Check out their solar panels. This is our office building. There are solar panels on the roof which generate electricity for the school. Mulluwela was the biggest school on my trip, with 64 students in a town of almost 2,000 people. Mulluwela is a twin town with Yarrawonga. They are separated only by the mighty Murray River. That means some students come from New South Wales and some cross from the border. We played lots of sports, football, basketball and tennis. I even got to cheer them on at a cross-country in Urana. The children took me to explore Lake Mulwala. When I arrived in Nowandok, I felt like I was in the middle of nowhere. There were 157 people and they all assured me that they love being out with the paddocks and the cows. There are 9 students and they all love to laugh a lot. They also love riding their motorbikes, playing in the bush, and sometimes they even bring things from the bush into the classroom. Nowandok, an hour from Walker, is a spectacular area for bushwalking, fishing and scenic drives. The main industries are beef, cattle and timber. On the Dorrigo Plateau, up in the mountains, is Dundarabin. 185 people live in Dundarabin. 24 children attend the school. Most of the adults work in the sawmills and timber industry. Dorrigo is the closest town, 30 minutes away. The larger towns of Coffs Harbour, Grafton and Armidale are 90 minutes away. I helped the children plant some native trees, callistemons, bacchiers and melaleucas. We also learnt about how seeds grow and pressed flowers. One day school was cancelled because of a blackout. I spent the day exploring the schoolyard. I really enjoyed tasting the banksia flowers in the bush tucker garden. Dundarabin is traditionally home to the Gumbanga people. There are so many birds and wildlife. Yetman would be my last stop, in New South Wales. I was almost at the Queensland border. In fact, the closest towns, Texas, 45 kilometres away, and Goondiwindi, 65 kilometres away, are both in Queensland. The children drew me a map so I wouldn't get lost. Yetman is a small village of 100 people. Most families go to Goondiwindi for shopping and activities. It is an hour's drive, but there is a shortcut over the broken slab in the McIntyre River. People swim at the broken slab too. There are some really big rocks around Yetman. Gum trees, pine trees and wild thorn bush too. There are lots of animals like the koala, emu, kangaroo and red-bellied black snake. Sometimes snakes even come into the school. Every year, Yetman has a big camp draft. And here, it's missing some illustration. Across the border and into the desert to the small indigenous community of Amampa. I was now in the Northern Territory. Amampa is a community of 100 people. It is quite isolated. Mudajulu is another indigenous community of 300 people, about 200 kilometres away near Uluru. Amampa has a roadhouse where the children enjoy drinking slushies. The icy coldness is refreshing in the hot desert heat. Some of the mob paint at the roadhouse. There is a rec hall too where the children like to hang out. There are lots of animals near Amampa, emus, goannas, honey ants and witchetty grubs. Sometimes the children hunt and eat them. You can imagine the illustrations on this page. When I arrived at Pigeonhole School, they quickly told me that they had a local name for their place, Nitch Peru. Nitch Peru is 450 kilometres southwest of Katherine. To get there, you have to drive down a single lane road and then a dirt road. When it rains, the Victoria River rises and floods. The black soil road becomes too slippery to get in or out of Nitch Peru. There are 15 houses in Nitch Peru, a shop, clinic and school. 25 students attend the school. The children speak Bilinara language and English. Some children also speak Gurindji and Naramang. I helped the children paint a big mural on the classroom wall, and it is a river and bush theme. Miss Sue packed me back into my envelope and sent me home. I was a very tired and grubby little Bilby in need of a good bath and sleep. Miss Sue told me that she hoped I would visit her and her students again one day, perhaps at a new school. Thank you to all the small schools, their children and teachers for hosting me on my travels. So that's Banjo Bilby's Small School Big Adventures as it stands today. I'd love to send Banjo Bilby the hand puppet out again into Victoria. I think that with all of the lockdowns and isolation, people are more focused on their local areas at the moment. It's a great time in that respect, but it's also a great time to bridge those gaps that have been created by the isolation, and to bring the state together, even just through a mail art project.